Hey guys, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Eco's First Continent. Eco's First Continent is a game from AEG, or Alderac Entertainment Group. Plays 2 to 6 players. From designer John DeClaire, Cubitos, Edge of Darkness. He's pretty solid. And what you're doing in this is it's going to have that bingo mechanism. I don't know what the actual mechanism is called, but you're reaching into a bag, you're pulling out a token. Everybody gets to mark on their card one of those tokens. So you're trying to effectively get a bingo on your card so you can get the special ability. Not sure what it's called. It doesn't really matter, but that's the gist of how the game works. You're trying to get these cards out so you can build mountains, put some trees out, expand the terrain, get some animals out, so you can score points. It's a race to either 60 or 80 points, depending on the length of the game you want to play. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go down to the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Eco's First Continent, all set up. So I've set this up like a 3 or more player game, but I'm only going to show 2 players. A 2-player game actually sets up a little bit differently, but due to table space, I'm only going to play as 2 players, but I'm going to set it up like it's a 3 or more player game. There's a little bit difference for 2 players, but it's in the rule book. It doesn't change it a ton, but it is a little bit different. So just keep that in mind when you're checking this out. So to set up, you're going to get out all the animal tokens, which are in these cool little boxes here. Power cubes. You're going to do a starting layout of the map, which I've done here. It's recommended in the book. There's some stuff to start out. You're going to give each player a number of cards. I'm using some of the starting layout, so I have the duck foot and like the hoof over there. And then the ones that are darker are going to be your starting cards. So I have the 3 starting cards here, 3 starting cards here. And each player is going to get one of these turn like markers that shows the breakdown of the tokens in the bag, and 7 cubes. Now this is not a deck. These cards are actually in your hand. So at any time you can look in here, whatever you want. But these are the only cards that we are able to use right now until we can play some more. The way the game works is we're going to be drawing tokens out of this bag. Based on the symbol that comes out, we're going to be able to put a cube either on that symbol. So if water comes out, I can put a cube there, or I could take this and spin it to try to get it to one of these special abilities to help me get more cubes, get more cards played, and all that type of thing. And then we're going to be focusing on the map to score points, get different animals out. We're going to be playing cards to help us build the map to get the map to the way we want it, to play more cards to score points. We're trying to be the first person to either score 60 in a short game or 80 in a long game. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to say red's going first. They're going to be called the Harbinger, which means they're going to be pulling tokens out of a bag. So what they're going to do is they're going to reach in the bag, pull a token. So they pulled sun. Now what happens is players can either mark a sun. So I could take this, put it here, which I will do. Or if I didn't want to do that, I could spin this one to get closer to my special ability. But I'm just going to mark it. Let's see, this player, they're going to go ahead and do the same thing. You may also replace, let's put it here. All right. Same thing. Now he's going to keep going. So we draw again, move this tile out of the way. And we have grass. So same thing. We can mark whatever we want. So I'll mark this one. And this player they do not have grass, so they will spin their token here. Keep going. And the player is going to keep drawing until they get a wild, which will be that icon right there. It's a bunch of different colors. And then it will go to the next player. So we have another sun. So they're going to play this one. And they will play this one. We'll keep digging. Another sun. So they don't have a sun, so they will spin. They will go there. I want to play through so you can see what happens when you get your card full. We got some water. So let's see. I'll go ahead and start here, and then they'll go over here. Okay. keep going. Leaf, that's what I needed. And then they do not have a leaf, so they will spin. Now they could use this ability now, or they could wait. They're going to wait because they want to spin it one more so they can get that next ability, which is draw a cube or play a card. Now, when someone gets all their spaces filled up on a card, they're going to yell Ecos. And then, if there's multiple players, we would do it in turn order. So starting with the Harbinger, moving on. This player done it. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your cubes off. Then you can see there's leaves on these cards. So this one has 4 leaves. If there's only one, it would get discarded. If there's 4 leaves, that means it would turn. So I could use this card 3 more times before it gets discarded. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what it says. So I'm going to place a tree on any tile that can hold a tree. So this one can hold a tree. This one cannot hold a tree unless it has a mountain. So right now I can only put a tree right there. Then I gain 1 point per separate tree habitat. Right now there's only 1, so I would gain 1 point. And then I would gain a deer and a sun. That means I can put things on cards. I don't have a sun, so I will just put a deer here, and for my sun I will spin this. And that's my action. Whenever you get a bonus from a card, it has to go on a different card. You can't just keep using the same card over and over and over. And that's that turn. All right, so then it will be the other player's turn. We'll draw out, get a deer. Or it's still this player's turn, but we're placing. So I'll put the deer here. Do they have a deer? They do have a deer. All right, done. Then we'll draw another one. And we draw a wild. All right, so let's show you what happens when you draw a wild. Wild means you can put on any token that you put down any token that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and put down a water because I want to fill off a card. And I think they're going to place on this one because this one's kind of hard to get. And then we're going to go ahead and do this card. So I'll take these off. I'll spin it because now I have 3 more uses of this, and I get a place of water. So I'll take a water tile, place it anywhere I want. The only rules is it has to touch one side of another tile. And then I get 2 points, so I'll get 2 more points. And then place any type of water animal on this space. So let's see. Let's do an orca. So we'll put an orca on this tile. So each tile can only hold 1 animal. So there's ways to move stuff around, but as of right now, this tile is only going to have that animal. And that's that. This player does not have anything full, so we're done. Now when a wild is pulled, a couple things are going to happen. All the tiles are going to go back in the bag. This player is now going to become the Harbinger. And we're going to check for end game. So what would happen is if we were at 60 or 80, the game would end. And whoever has the most points would be the winner. But in this case, the game's not over because we're not even close to 60 or 80. So this player will become the Harbinger and we would just keep pulling tiles. So let's go ahead. Let's play through one more. So they drew sun. So this player will mark a sun. This player does not have a sun, so they will spin. What they're going to do, they can gain 1 cube or play a card. They don't want to play a card right now, so they're going to grab a cube. Then they'll flip that back to start. So now they have more cubes to place. That's gone. Another sun. So they'll play this one. They don't have a sun, so they'll spin it again. Done. Water. So we'll do a water here. They do have water, I think. They don't have water either, so they'll spin it. They're not going to do that right now. This symbol. So they do have that symbol, so they're going to complete something finally. So they will go here. I don't have that one, so I will spin this. I'm going to take a cube. I don't want to play a card right now, and then this goes back to start. All right, so they would yell Ecos because they've gotten a bonus, or they've completed their card, so these will come out. This will rotate here. They're going to put down, what is that, a rhino. Let's find the rhino. It's right there. Rhino, you can see they have little tags. Rhino has to go in the appropriate color, which is desert, so we're putting it on desert. Gain 2 points, so white is now on the board. Gain 3 if not adjacent to any other animals. It's adjacent to the orca. And then they're going to gain a wild. So that means they can put a cube on any other card that they want, and they're going to put it on that one. And that's that. And that's how you're going to keep going until someone gets to either 60 in a short game or 80 in a bigger game. So I showed you on this card, when you get to this, you can either take a cube or play a card. Playing a card just means taking another card from your hand and putting it down in front of you. But you can also, on this side, you can gain a card. Gain a card, there's two things you can do. You can draw 2 off of one pile and keep 1. Draw 1 of each pile and keep 1. And the one that you don't keep will then go face up here as a card that someone else can take should they want to. So on another person's gain a card, they can go and say, hey, I want to take that card if they want to. There can be a whole bunch of those out depending on how the cards play. There's some mountains that I didn't get to play, but there's mountains, there's a bunch of trees. These land tiles are grasslands and desert, and the water is just water. So that's how you play Eco's First Continent. Let's go to the top, see what they think about it. All right, well, that was Eco's First Continent. First off, before we get into any farther, I want to talk about the production. Look at this. This is a really nice bag. Let's look what's inside this bag, which you already saw, but I'm going to show you again. These tokens are awesome. They're cool shit. They're an awesome shape. Clear to see what the picture is on the tile. They feel nice when you're reaching in there to pull them out. They're just amazing. I love the production of the tiles. The trees, which I don't know how well you got to see them, but there's some tree meeples that you can put on the map. The mountains, there's 2 different shapes of mountains, which is pretty cool. So here's one that's just a single mountain, but here's one that's like a double mountain, kind of gives you like a mountain range type look. The card art is fine. The tiles are fine. These holders for the animals are amazing. They have lids so they don't come out. They're accurately labeled. Here's another one. The box for the cubes. None of the cubes can come out. That's amazing. So the production on this game is top notch. I have no complaints at all. At all. And in the expansion, which I'll cover in another video, there's a Kilimanjaro piece that is completely unnecessary but looks amazing. Another one of these boxes of animals. More land tiles. Just more of the same stellar production. So let's talk about the gameplay. So this is the bingo mechanism. Again, like I said at the top, pull an item out of a bag. Everyone gets to mark that on their bag, on their board. Or if you can't, you can spin this token around to try to get those special ability. Everybody's playing at the same time, so the game doesn't go on forever. Because if you were doing this in turn order, that would take a little bit. But because everybody's marking their boards, yelling out Ecos when they have effectively a bingo, then based on the Harbinger, if they get a bingo first, it'll go around the table and everybody takes their turns. You're just trying to fill in your cards, build your engine with the appropriate cards by playing cards, drawing new cards to get stuff to come out with what's on the map. You're trying to build the map up. You're trying to get animals out, trying to get mountains, trees, just a whole bunch of stuff going on to try to score the most points the quickest. So that's it. What you saw in the game, in the gameplay, is how the game works. I didn't show you all the actions, but I showed you getting your tile out. I showed you getting some animals, some trees, scoring some points. That's effectively how you're going to just keep going until someone gets to the appropriate amount of points. So yeah, this is a good game. This is actually, I think, the first game in the bingo style that I've played. I've been wanting to play Augustus. What's the other one? Dingo. I think there's one about the Dingo's Dreams or something. And then there's Karuba. I haven't played any of those, so I can't really talk about that mechanism in those games, but I like it in this one. I think if it was just putting the pieces on the cards and trying to score points, that wouldn't be that great. But when you're manipulating the map and moving the animals around, maybe eating other animals, trying to get stuff into position so you can play a really big turn and score a pile of points, that's awesome. So it seems like it's a simple game to teach. It's easy to play, but getting all the cards to work together with the map, therein lies the challenge. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games we enjoy. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's Ecos from AEG. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.